The following is a list of 12 locations haunted by ghostly women in white in the state of Massachusetts. Number 1. Burying Point Cemetery. Sometimes also referred to as Charter Street Cemetery, Burying Point Cemetery in Salem, Massachusetts, was first established in 1637 as the Salem Street Burying Ground. It is noted by historians as being one of the first public burial grounds in the city of Salem, as well as one of the oldest cemeteries in the United States. The location is believed to be haunted by the ghosts of several men and women who were executed during the Salem witch trials of 1692, as well as a number of other unidentified apparitions and shadow figures. The historic cemetery also serves as the final resting place for many of Salem's early pioneers and figureheads, including the late Judge John Hathorne, who notoriously sentenced 19 Salem citizens to death for allegedly practicing witchcraft, and whose spectral figure is allegedly seen wandering the cemetery at night. Paranormal investigators also report encountering the ghost of a woman in a long white dress, believed to be the late Mary Corey, who was sentenced to death for witchcraft, and the ghost of a mysterious woman in blue who is seen carrying a picnic basket. Many consider Burying Point Cemetery to be one of the most haunted cemeteries in New England. Number 2. The Cape Cod Canal. Constructed in 1909, the Cape Cod Canal is a 7-mile-long artificial waterway located in Sandwich, Massachusetts, which connects Cape Cod Bay in the north to Buzzards Bay in the south. The 480-foot wide body of water is said to be haunted by the spirits of several former workers who were killed during the construction of the canal's numerous bridges, in addition to the spirit of a young girl whose lifeless body was found floating in the canal. Fishermen and those swimming in the canal also report witnessing the ghost of a woman in a white dress, whose apparition is most often seen on foggy nights. She is said to ask onlookers if they can take her to a payphone before mysteriously vanishing without a trace. Number 3. Ellis-Bolles Family Cemetery. Established in 1872, the Ellis-Bolles Family Cemetery in Mattapoisett, Massachusetts, is said to be haunted by the spirits of former members of the Ellis and Bolles family, whose apparitions are allegedly seen by visitors at night. Paranormal investigators at the old cemetery also report hearing the sounds of disembodied voices and whispers, as well as witnessing the ghost of a woman in a long white dress, known as the Woman in White. Others report feeling a strange presence, or feeling as if being watched by an unseen entity. Some locals also claim that the old cemetery was once the site of a sacred Native American burial ground before being consecrated as a Christian cemetery in the 1870s. Additionally, the Ellis-Bolles Family Cemetery and the surrounding area were once the site of several skirmishes between English settlers and Native American warriors during King Philip's War. Because of this, many who visit the location report witnessing the faceless spirits of former Native American tribesmen who were mercilessly executed after the battle, hanging lifelessly from trees in the surrounding woods. Number 4. Endicott College. Established in 1939, Endicott College is a 235-acre private college located in Beverly, Massachusetts. Winthrop Hall is said to be haunted by the ghost of a woman in a white gown who committed suicide after discovering that her husband had been killed at sea. Her forlorn spirit is often seen by residents at night, allegedly still waiting for her lost husband to return. Number 5. Evergreen Cemetery. Established in the early 1800s, Evergreen Cemetery in New Braintree, Massachusetts, is said to be haunted by the ghost of a young woman who was killed on her wedding day. Motorists driving by the old cemetery at night often report witnessing the young woman's spectral apparition, and many different folklore tales exist which attempt to explain the reason for her presence. In one story, the young woman was killed after the horse-drawn wagon she was riding in on her way to the church for her wedding flipped over, whereas another story claims that she was murdered with an axe by her fiancé. Both legends claim that the nameless woman's ghost now appears at the cemetery on the anniversary of her death, which is believed to be either April 18th or April 21st. Motorists driving along the adjacent Route 67 often report encountering the apparition of a headless woman wearing a long white dress, with some even claiming to offer the woman a ride home before noticing her ghastly appearance. In some instances, drivers claim to pick the woman up before later discovering that she has mysteriously vanished from the vehicle. Number 6. October Mountain Cemetery. October Mountain State Forest is an 11,000-acre nature preserve in Washington, Massachusetts that offers a variety of outdoor amenities, such as sites for camping and trails for walking, hiking, and mountain biking. It was purchased by the state of Massachusetts in 1915 from a man named William C. Whitney, who served as the Secretary of the United States Navy from 1885 until 1889. The forest is said to be haunted by the spirit of a young girl named Anna Pease, who passed away on January 22, 1829, and was buried in a small cemetery in the forest. Those hiking October Mountain at night report witnessing the young girl's spirit wearing a long white dress and experiencing feelings of being watched by an unseen entity. Others report encountering a giant, ape-like creature lurking in the woods, believed by many to be Sasquatch, and during the 1970s, the forest became a hotspot for ufologists due to frequent UFO sightings in the area. Number 7. Old Center Cemetery. Established in the late 1770s, the Old Center Cemetery in Royalston, Massachusetts, is said to be haunted by the spirit of a tall, blonde-haired woman wearing a long white dress, as well as another shadowy apparition, which is allegedly seen darting between headstones at night. Those visiting the cemetery during daylight hours also report experiencing sudden cold spots and drops in temperature, or feeling the presence of an unseen entity. Old Center Cemetery is sometimes referred to by locals simply as Royalston Center Cemetery. Number 8. Regina Russell's Tea Room. First opened in 1973, Regina Russell's Tea Room in Quincy, Massachusetts, is said to be haunted by the spirit of a mysterious woman in a white dress, whose apparition is allegedly seen by guests and employees. Although many have reported encountering the ghostly woman in white over the years, her identity and the reason for her presence remain unknown. Number 9. Smith College. Established in 1871, Smith College is a private women's liberal arts college located in Northampton, Massachusetts, with some buildings on campus dating back to the early 1700s. In addition to being renowned as one of the largest women's colleges in the United States, it is also rumored to be one of the most haunted. Students at the Talbot House report witnessing the spirit of a woman wearing a white gown, known as the Lady in White, as well as the spirit of a young boy who was allegedly locked in the building's attic and left to die. Chase House, which was constructed during the early 1800s as a boarding house, is said to be haunted by the spirit of a woman who committed suicide after killing her newborn child. Students residing at Chase House report encountering the woman's spirit at night, carrying her murdered child and weeping, and many also report hearing the disembodied sounds of an infant crying. On the morning of November 13, 1925, a student named Jean Robeson was found dead in Park House after inhaling fumes from a gas stove that was left running overnight. Her ghost is said to haunt the location of her death, where students also report feeling sudden cold spots and the presence of an unseen entity. Lastly, Wilder House is rumored to be haunted by the spirit of a student named Gloria who committed suicide. Number 10. Tewksbury Cemetery. Established in the late 1700s, Tewksbury Cemetery in Tewksbury, Massachusetts, is said to be haunted by the spirit of a woman in white, whose apparition is often seen by visitors before mysteriously vanishing. Others walking in the area late at night also report encountering a strange, unidentified creature that quietly prowls the cemetery, described as being large and featureless, with leathery skin and sunken eyes. Number 11. The New Boston Inn. Constructed in 1737 by the Daniel Brown family, the New Boston Inn in Sandisfield, Massachusetts, was first registered as an inn and stagecoach stop in 1750. It was added to the National Register of Historic Places in September of 1988 and is said to be haunted by several different apparitions and spirits. During the American Revolutionary War, the New Boston Inn was used by American forces to covertly train troops for the local militia, and during the 1800s, the location served as a stagecoach stop for thousands of travelers and pioneers traveling west. Guests at the inn report witnessing unidentified apparitions and specters dressed in clothing from the Victorian and colonial eras, in addition to experiencing other unexplained paranormal phenomena, such as objects moving by themselves or being rearranged by an unseen entity. Others report hearing the sounds of disembodied footsteps and voices, or feeling a strange presence. One spirit said to haunt the location is that of a young woman named Harriet, who was murdered on her wedding day in the summer of 1805 by her jealous ex-lover. Harriet was from an affluent family that came to Sandisfield every summer. One summer, she fell in love with a local farmer who asked for her hand in marriage. However, Harriet's parents forbid her from marrying the young man. fearing their daughter would live a life of poverty. The following summer, Harriet returned to the inn, where she was engaged to be married to another man. During their wedding ceremony, the farmer returned, begging Harriet to marry him instead. When she rejected him, he pulled out a concealed pistol and shot her to death at the altar where she stood. Ever since, guests at the New Boston Inn have reported encountering the ghost of a woman in white wearing a blood-stained wedding dress. Number 12. Walnut Cemetery. Walnut Cemetery in Haverhill, Massachusetts, is said to be haunted by the spirit of a woman known as the Lady in White, whose apparition is allegedly seen by visitors and nearby motorists at night. The Lady in White is believed to be the spirit of a young woman named Lydia Eyre, who passed away in 1827 at the age of 14. However, the reason for her presence at the cemetery is unknown. Over the years, many locals have reported encountering the spirit of the Lady in White, as well as experiencing other unexplained paranormal phenomena, such as sudden cold spots or drops in temperature, as well as feeling the presence of an unseen entity. That concludes my list of 12 locations haunted by ghostly women in white in the state of Massachusetts. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit like and subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for more creepy videos and other content. To see my full list of folklore tales and haunted locations in your state, check out my website, ghostquest.net. And be sure to check out the link in the description for my new book, The Folklore and Haunted Locations Guide, Massachusetts, available now on Amazon. To see more of my creepy videos, click the thumbnails shown on the screen and be sure to enable channel notifications.